Hello everyone and welcome to Twerton Park for highlights of this Vanarama National League South clash between Bath City and Oxford City. It's the final match of the league season for these sides. Bath City could finish in the top 10 if results go their way. Oxford know that if they at least match Chelmsford's result, they'll finish third and receive a bye to the playoff semi-final. Regardless of the outcome, it's their highest finish at this level in Ross Jenkinson's first full season in charge. This is the first time in 8 games that the Romans face somebody above them in the league. The last 2 meetings have been 3-3 thrillers. Back in September, City recovered from 3-0 down at half-time with 3 second-half goals to snatch a morale-boosting point. Joe Raines was forced off in that game. Along with Cody Cook and Alex Fletcher, they've missed 85 games between them this term. Cook and Fletcher are out, but Chris Lyons and Rex Manning's returned to the 16. Luke Spokes makes his 50th appearance for the Romans. City's starting 11 is unchanged from Tuesday's win over Hungerford. Oxford have made 2 alterations from their draw against Hampton Waterlooville last week. Paddy Lolos hasn't recovered from injury, and Latrell Humphrey-Ewers also makes way. Josh Parker and Alfie Potter start. Jerry Gill and Jack Batten are receiving awards pre-match. Gill took charge of his 250th match last month against Dulwich. Batten also hit 250 appearances against Concord in City's last home match. Commentary is from Bath City Radio's Andrew Kerslake and Chris Chappell.
And we're underway, and Oxford City kicking from left to right, attacking the Bristol end in their orange shirts. Bath City, of course, in the narrow black and white stripes as the ball runs through to goalkeeper Max Harris. Throwing comes in from the right for Oxford City. It's dropped in the area, and Williams Michel trying to force a shot in. Good save, and Harris again gets his hand on the ball just to deflect it wide of his left post. So free kick to be taken by Freer, deep on the left, in from the touchline, whips it in along the sort of penalty spot line, and Marcel tried to keep it alive at the far post, but his header drifts behind for a goal kick. And throw-in conceded by Jack Davis, the on-loan defender. Quickly taken to Tom Smith, edge of the box, tries to fire a snapshot in, it hits the defender and bounces away.
I don't think Smith stood much chance in there, 20 yards out, and he just hit it on the turn without really looking where it was going.
Sometimes get a lucky deflection. Oxford City go long, and it runs through to Max Harris. He was impressed since he joined on loan from Cheltenham in January. Yeah, lovely to in midfield. Morton completely deceived his marker there. Coyle wins it back, gives it to McEachran, and the shot is chipped just wide of the post. There was a yell as if the ball had just crept inside the post, but Harris with a flying save to keep out McEachran, who found room outside the area and wasn't afraid to shoot. With 4 goals against Bath in his time at Oxford City. It's headed away at the near post. Then Coyle out to the right-hand side. Potter almost finds Burley. It's one and a trip in midfield on Hayfield, which is trying to break into the centre circle.
I think first player in the book this afternoon.
Yeah, an early one. Inside quarter of an hour, referee
Lewis Coyle going in.
Sam Reed. Through ball, trying to find McEachran, is cut out. And now Spokes advances for the Romans, knocks it wide to Freer on the left. Up against Burley. Checks and gives it back to Luke Spokes outside the box. Tries to slide a fizzing pass through to Wilson. But doesn't get it through. Burley clears upfield towards Josh Parker, well judged by Batten. And then Parcell flies in on a block tackle, but Potter's come away with it down the right. For Oxford City, he's got Parker in the middle. Sends the cross quite long, and Coyle with the shot just flashes across the face of Goyle. Across the face of goal, I should say, and just wide of the far post. The Oxford players just patiently passing the ball around. Fleet out to Coyle. Back to the Hoops captain, now McEachran. Goes down by Spokes and goes sideways. Dyer tries to get a tackle in a low shot from the edge of the box from Ashby. Yeah, we haven't seen anything coming on goal from Parker yet. It's a flick over Coyle's head. He had his hands up. Handball on the halfway line. Morton gives it to Smith, central, turns and heads out to the right-hand side. Rains chops back. Now Morton gets in his favoured left foot. It's a low cross into the area usually dealt with by Oxford City, and it's up to Parker inside the centre circle. He tries to carry it out to the right and is bumped over by Jack Batten, and because we've had an early yellow card already for Lewis Coyle, the referee is giving one.
What you call an unsophisticated challenge, I think.
Yeah, Batten. So right-hand side, corner comes in. It's quite a deep one. Carroll heads it back into the melee in the middle. Gets it back from deflection. McEachran's shot cleared off the line. Great header from Spokes. It was with Concord earlier in the season, and again the pass along the ground finds Potter running at the defence. Plays it square. McEachran onto his right foot. Fancies another shot, and it's too straight. And Harris gets his hands behind the ball, but again another shot raining in on the Bath City goal.
City moving the ball around nicely. That great throw out from Harris to Freer. Must be a joy for Freer to actually have the ball in front of him. So often it seems to come either sideways or behind him.
There's a tussle between Potter and Dyer, and another card's coming out. This referee has set precedent here, Sam Reed. And that's 3 in just over half an hour.
For nothing, that's significant, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, the Batten one was probably 50-50, but you could see why he gave it. But that was just a tangle.
Yeah.
So they do like to move their players around. Long ball through the middle, looking for Parker. Who gets around Dyer. And then there's a foul on Josh Parker.
Dyer needs to be careful there because he's just picked up a yellow card.
Oh, he's off.
Oh, and he's off.
Second yellow.
Sent him off.
He's, what's that, 2 fouls he's committed in the whole game, and he's been admonished for both of them. And with over 10 minutes before half-time, Bath City reduced to 10 men. A double booking for Jordan Dyer. Pretty soft. It's his second red of the season.
I think the trouble came perhaps not so much from that foul, but from getting the yellow card for the first one, which, as we said, was no more than 2 players tangling together. And you really feel that if the referee's going to send Dyer off for that, then we're going to be lucky to finish this game with even 10 players on each side.
Well, I think, would you agree, most referees would have just said, right, that's your last warning.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like a horrible knee-high
Well,
tackle.
I don't think most referees would have given a yellow card for the first one. It was no more than a foul.
So
Jordan Dyer's season is just saying to his manager, I did nothing.
Free kick from the edge of the box. Ashby hits the wall, bounces out to Fleet, and it's hit Smith. Now Williams-Bushell sent a dangerous ball across the penalty area. Williams-Bushell on the right wing, lays it short. Now Potter, just outside the box. Williams-Bushell heads to the byline, pulls the cross back. Parker's shot is blocked, gets another chance, and this time he fires the ball past Harris. And it's Bath City 0, Oxford City 1. Josh Parker with his 20th of the season and his 16th in the league. Finally breaks the deadlock 5 minutes before half-time. It's been coming on the balance of play, and since Jordan Dyer's red card as well, it's tipped the balance in favour of Oxford City, and it's 1-0, Andrew.
Yeah, City managed to put in a block on one of those shots, but the ball coming back and Parker putting it into the back of the net. But you felt that City were gradually getting pushed back and back, really trying to, I think, keep it scoreless before half-time.
So Oxford City have it back again. Davis sends it long down the left wing, too high for McEachran, volleyed forward by Joe Rains in the direction of Wilson. He's won a free kick actually, so might be set pieces, I think. They'll have to take advantage, the Romans, if they're going to try and equalise. Spokes delivers it right-footed towards Parcell, and his header flies across the 6-yard box and goes wide, but a good opening there for the Romans, possibly the best of the game. It's now going to be a throw-in from the right-hand side, launched in by Rains. Parker's header, and then Potter heads it back towards his own goal. Again, City having to try and use as much as they can these set-piece opportunities, but there's a half-time whistle from the card-happy Samuel Reid, the referee, who's booked 3 players, and then Jordan Dyer got a second booking around 10 minutes before the break, and then 5 minutes after that, the resistance buckled, and Josh Parker at the second attempt fired in from close range to put Oxford City 1-0 up here with drawing spokes. And half-time change then with Opie Edwards coming on and Coyle across the midfield, and then McEachran playing where he likes behind Josh Parker. So Wilson.
Again, Wilson was
flying over his head.
I do not get that at all.
Quickly taken from a very strange position. McEachran runs it to the edge of the area, fires a shot in, and it's just gone wide of the post. McEachran on 8 goals for the season and just having a shot whenever he can in the right corner of the box. Ashby, Williams Bushell, short passing football, just working the angle. The Heaps not wearing their blue and white Heap shirts today. Gone with the orange away kit. And now McEachran, if anyone's going to have a shot, he will. Freer just trying to close down and on the far side, and the referee doesn't give a foul there, thankfully. He's just inside the area. Freer with the challenge. Wilson controls the ball and tries to run it down the left wing under pressure. He's got Davis with him. Still Wilson on the left. Gets onto his right foot. He's got some support now. And Morton through to Edwards, and he's turned the ball in from close range. The flag stays down, and Opie Edwards just popped up out of nowhere and has turned it past Hay from just a couple of yards out, and it's Bath City, the 10 men, who've drawn level at 1-1.
Well, I looked up, certain that he was going to be offside, but it came off an Oxford player, so it played Edwards on, and he really had a very simple tap in there. And
well, we weren't expecting that.
And well, City really did what Oxford did, just caught them on the break, moved the ball around nicely. It all came from that Wilson run down the left-hand side, really piling forward there. Looked to play it back, Tom Smith did the dummy with an overlap, ball played into the area, Edwards having a tap in, and well, surprise, surprise, it's 1-1.
Well, they got something to hold on to now. So Jerry Gill with a tactical change at the break, and his substitute has scored within 5 minutes, and it's his first goal of the season, and of course it's 5 years since his loan spell when he got 4, so he scored for the club in that time, but what a time to do it. Wilson's got it inside the area, rolls it back, here's Hayfield, shot deflected just over, but Oxford City, 6s and 7s, they don't know what's hit them.
And that'll be City's first corner of the match.
Well, you wouldn't know that they had a man down on Oxford City, but they're making all the running. And it's only Wilson in the 6-yard box, host of black and white striped shirts on the edge of the area. Here they come. Freer's delivery towards the penalty spot, headed down from Hayfield. Parcell couldn't quite get. There's a penalty given as well. Batten fouled, and referee Sam Reed, who's the villain of the first half, sending off Jordan Dyer for 2 very soft challenges, has given Bath City a penalty.
Well, I'll not hear a word said against Mr. Reed, other than the words we've used already. But Oxford players surrounding the referee, but Batten very clearly fouled there.
Disbelief, Batten taking a while to get up. He's holding his right ankle. Well, Scott Wilson, he scored from the spot in midweek at Hungerford to put them into a 2-1 lead. Well, that made it. Well, Batten was also fouled, so it's history repeating itself. Cam Wilson beat Hay. 7 minutes into the second half. Scott Wilson just replaces the ball on the spot. And another booking has come out. So it looks like it might be Ashby as the preparation for the penalty. Delayed somewhat.
Referee's delaying this a long time. Wilson's having a long time to wait before he takes this. Referee going up again to have another word with the goalkeeper, presumably about staying behind his line, which I'm sure he knows anyway.
Wilson had a long time to wait, and finally here he steps up and slots it into the bottom right corner, sends Hay the wrong way, and remarkably 10-man Bath City are leading one of the top sides in the division, Oxford City, by 2 goals to 1.
And certainly, if nothing else, has lifted the crowd here at 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 Park. And it might seem unlikely. Oxford City still protesting to the referee, which you really do feel is a fruitless activity.
What an incredible afternoon this has been. It was all, after the red card, I thought, here we go, 1-0 down. That's it for the afternoon, but remarkably, the Romans lead 2-1. Well, what more has this game got to offer? Oxford City be desperate to get back level as they chase the favoured playoff spots. There's a delivery in from the wide man, Williams Bushell. Parker, the striker, lays it off. Now Coyle on the left side of the penalty area. With his left foot, tries to poke it into Parker. And Ashby's shot is straight at Harris. Well, Ashby has 4 goals against Bath City in these meetings down the years.
I love what a goal does to Scott Wilson. He becomes rejuvenated.
Parker at the other end, heads it back. McEachran dancing his way through, gets to the byline, pulls it back to a dangerous area, and Oxford City couldn't turn it home. Potter was there, and he almost fell over as he tried to side foot it home. But again, the Romans had plenty of bodies in the way. Iachafano just peels off, goes to the left-hand side. Davis wants him in the box. I think that's what the manager, Ross Jenkins, does as well. Ball in towards Parker, right side of the box, shot fired in, and it's behind the goal in the end. Goal kick, it's Coyle. Parker's peeled off on the left-hand side. Onto his right foot, just lifts it into the area, hooked away by Batten, and then the first time shot from Fleet deflects out to the right-hand side. Joe Wilson controls it on the right-hand side of the box. Can't get it onto his right foot, goes back to McEachran. Outside the area on the right. And the ball rolled back to the centre circle where Canis Carroll picks it up. He's got a bit of league experience with Oxford United and loan spells with Swindon and Carlisle. Josh Parker tries to curl it into Iachafano, who takes a bit of a dive, you have to say, tumble at the feet of Jack Batten. Fleet, the captain, defensive midfielder. Parker outside the area, got a bit of room here if he fancies a shot. Closed down eventually by Morton, and drilled in towards the near post by the sub Joe Wilson, and just kept out by Max Harris. Interesting. It could, if nothing happens in the Dulwich game, Dover could still drop further if Weymouth score a couple more goals, but according to Mark. It's very tight at the bottom. There's a bumping challenge from Parcell in this game here. And a long ball forward, no foul. And now Scott Wilson's got through on the edge of the box. Tries to slot it in from a tight angle. He dispossessed Carroll. You thought the referee was going to give a free kick as he fell over outside his penalty area. Wilson through one-on-one. He just had a heavy touch, taking out to the right-hand side of the box, and that allowed Hay just to close the angle down. Now Iachafano on the right wing. Threads it through Ashby. Right side of the box, tries to lift a cross in towards Josh Parker. It's cleared only as far as Fleet, and that's a pretty weak shot that's blocked on the edge of the area. Comes back to Fleet. Nice ball in. Ashby to Iachafano inside the box. Cross shot cleared off the line again. This time it was Jack Batten with the clearance to deny Joe Iachafano, and he heads the ball away from the edge of the box. Now Hayfield can break with space ahead of him. He's got Wilson. Hayfield just try and keep it for as long as he can. Deflected through ball. It's going to come through to Hay on the edge of his own area. He's outside the box. Passes it to Fleet in space, but good break by Hayfield. He's going to be tiring. He's going to give the ball back uncontested to Reece Fleet, who immediately plays it forward. And the standoff continues. McEachran, edge of the box, rolls it square, and leaning back, Fleet puts the attempt on goal well wide to the left. Halfway to the corner flag, I'd say. Ashby with Coyle near the corner. And Ashby delivers it into the middle. It's near enough under the crossbar. Marcel holds off Burley. And the ball is cleared out to Coyle, about 30 yards from goal. Square ball to McEachran, who's got room to shoot. And the ball hits the Bath City player. I think it's Rains in the middle. And on the 18-yard line, they've had to stop play because it hit him straight on the forehead. I think
yes, I was going to say it was Rains in the face, not Rains in the middle. But absolutely fouled there. And referee's now coming over. Yep, the card at the ready.
No, but this was for the manager.
Which one of the three on the Oxford bench he's given it to? I haven't got a clue.
Coyle's picked it up on the Oxford City left. Michio tries to send it into Parker, he's leaning back, cushions it down, and then Fleet with the shot, and it just goes wide of the post. Wow, that could have gone in for a dramatic late equaliser, but the Romans survive. That's been key to seeing the Romans in front here. As Oxford City make another attempt for an equaliser. It's Joe Wilson down the right, and the end of a long ball, and a sliding challenge comes in for Joe Rains to concede a corner. Dead ball situations has one more, we think, to deliver from the right in towards the near post, and Harris grabs it with both hands, and the whistle is blown for full time. Sam Reed ends the game, and an absolutely incredible comeback where Jordan Dyer's red card in the 35th minute spelled disaster for the Romans, where Josh Parker then took advantage to put Oxford City 1-0 up at the break, and you thought, well, the floodgate's going to open in the second half. But a remarkable comeback for Bath City with their half-time substitute, Opie Edwards, scoring from close range 4 minutes after the break, and then a penalty for a foul on Jack Batten meant that Scott Wilson had the chance to put the City in front, and he did exactly that. And the Romans held on right to the end and become, according to Mark's incredible knowledge, the first side to come from behind with 10 men to win a game in the entire National League South.
And who are we to doubt Mr. Stillman's encyclopedic knowledge? But, well, what a cracking game that's been this afternoon. First of all, 1,700 here at Twerton Park. Secondly, that Jordan Dyer sending off, we said at the time we thought it was really unfortunate. The first yellow card wasn't deserved, the second maybe was, and Dyer left the pitch absolutely disconsolate. My understanding in answer to one of the queries is yes, he will be available for the Somerset Cup final. That suspension, which will be 2 matches, won't kick in until, of course, next season. So that Jordan Dyer sending off, well, we thought that was going to be the turning point of the game, and indeed Oxford did then come and score before half-time. But I think both Chris and I at half-time, we were sitting there thinking, how many might this be? City can't really hold on for that period. Well, indeed, City didn't hold on. They didn't need to. They went and got 2 goals, and you really say this afternoon, it was just a fantastic team effort from the goalkeeper at the back right through to Scott Wilson up front, wasn't it? Yeah. All of those players played their part, and indeed Opie Edwards, coming on as substitute, played his as well. Yeah,
well, Wilson, we said, was involved in the opening goal, the equaliser, with his work down the left-hand side, and it ricocheted through fortuitously, but Edwards had to be alive, didn't he, to get on the end of the chance as it sort of rolled across the 6-yard box, tucked it home, and yeah, at the end, really, I think Oxford City huffed and puffed, but they didn't really create too much that was having you sort of biting your fingernails.
And I think we should also mention, you know, Dan Hayfield and Tom Smith putting a real shift in there in midfield. They're just coming over now, the City players in front of the main stand here, and applause, as you can hear, absolutely ringing out around this ground. It might not have been the easiest season for City, and at times they struggled with that huge number of injuries, but a great result this afternoon. Real resolve from this City side, and Jerry Gill can justifiably feel proud both of his decisions and his team's performance this afternoon. Well, thanks Chris, and thanks Mark, and thank you all for listening, not only this afternoon but during the season. We've enjoyed having you with us, and this final league game of the season, don't forget, Somerset Premier Cup final on Tuesday night. If you can get down to Weston for a few chips, a bit of seaside and some great football, then do so. But from us this afternoon, City running out 2-1 winners in their final league game of the season in front of a very handsome 1,700 crowd at Twerton Park. so much for being with us.